Hey, it's Chris, Liege Games. June's passed. We're already in the middle of July. Said I'd do this. You guys wanted it. So, what did my June look like? What did I back? What didn't I back? Why? What came out? What's entered my collection? What's leaving my collection? A little bit of everything, if you will. I'm always horrible about keeping track of like what's going in and what's coming out, though. So there's always some line blurring. But a lot of it has just been actually prototypes. I've got like a little small couch of prototypes over there that, as a side note, like if there's any other content creators, any other reviewers out there or whatever you want to call yourself, like what do you guys do with prototypes after you're done with them? Because most of them are not finished games. There are a few that are, like the Mechanical Beast one that I had, that is the whole game, but some of these other ones aren't. Like, what do you guys do with those as a side note, question mark sort of thing? I mean, the full review copies are, I mean, that's easy to figure out what you do with, but like when it's got like half the game or a couple scenarios or something like that, total side random note, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. Um, yeah, let's do this. Obviously, a lot of other stuff came out this week. Reviews, thoughts, comments, everything under sun. My top 10 indie games from the first half of 2021. Hope you guys like that. Hope that was interesting. Again, just want to give a shout out to some of the smaller publishers out there who are still not getting all the big funds, but they're definitely putting out good games. So thanks, as always. If you made it this far, if you like this stuff and you want to watch consistently and see what I have to say, throw me a subscription, and that's about it. Otherwise, let's do this. Let's start out with the stuff I backed and the stuff I didn't back this month. Let's just do that. I think that's the most interesting thing anyway. So stuff I backed Mechanical Beast. Like I said, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. They didn't offer me a copy apart from the review copy. Like I said in one of the other videos, I have a review copy of it still, and so maybe I'll sell that. Maybe I'll give it away. Maybe I'll raffle it in one of these videos. I don't know. You guys have interest in this game? I don't know. I really like this game. The 1 to 4 player going into the beast belly and mechanically speaking turning it off and trying to escape with this unique tile laying, twisting, gear motion based tile layer. A little repetitive there. Anyway, but that is what it is, and it's brain burning, but in a good way, in a very condensed amount of time, so it doesn't feel too AP. And sometimes it's just fun chaos to see if you can make the tiles work in your favor while you're trying to collect all the people to your way out in the end. And $24 plus whatever shipping is going to be, well worth the price for me personally, to sit in my collection. Now, is it going to be a game I'm going to play all the time? No, it's not. But it's something that's unique. It's something that's different. It's something that, I think I would just have fun with on a random night that I don't feel like playing something too heavy. So it was a no-brainer, especially after I got to play it in person. The only other one that I ended up backing this month, or this past month of June, was Fall of the Mountain King. Now, I actually went with this. I wasn't sure. This one went down to the last 24 hours, and this may surprise some of you because, as you've heard me say, I'm not a big area control, but I think it was doing stuff enough differently from an area control perspective with the added elements of like the tableau action management builder, as well as the aesthetic of just difference. Reminds me more of the Champions of Midgard in the sense that you're wanting your guys to die at the end of the round too to get more bonus points with the gnomes invading. And I think the value was really, really there. And I think you're still seeing a really good value even within the Hall of the Mountain King, the deluxe version, when it's coming up at, secondary market, people are still like snatching it up. And they offered a lot of that stuff here. Now, I have no interest in the Hall of the Mountain King. So I just went with this one. And for, what was this, like $74, I think, US before shipping, again, it kind of was a little bit less total than I was expecting it to raise. But all in all, I think it's good. And the thing that pushed me, $79, the thing that pushed me over the edge, I'm not a huge fan of the plastic miniatures. I think the wood is going to be perfect, but it's a good value. And to steal it from Board Game Co. and Alex, I think that the added value with all of what you're getting with the stretch goals in this one make it a can't miss in terms of resellability, because this is going to be a very good game. I mean, there's no question about that. People are going to want to get this one, even if you don't like this one. So if you bought it from that side of things, you're fine. And again, you can get all the mini stuff for the in the Hall of the Mountain King, the deluxe upgrades and all that stuff. But here is where the value comes in. Now, again, there's not a ton of like Kickstarter, a start player, who cares about that, right? But you get the influence markers, okay. Then you've got another, you know, deluxeifications basically is what you've got going on here. Shinies, punched out stuff. Again, nothing that make it or break it, because a lot of this stuff is probably going to be like in an expansion, right? Because none of the playable stuff is really, again, non-playable, non-gameplay. Here you go. This is where it's number one. The mini expansion, Kickstarter exclusive. Well, Kickstarter exclusive-ish probably, but that's fine. That's bundled in. And then this second one that they hit down here with the mini expansion, Notorious Gnomes. And I said, if you're going to get both of those that are semi-Kickstarter exclusive, the deluxeifications are over the top. I mean, you could sell this, pick up the originals, keep the mini expansions even, and probably make a profit. I'm not doing it for that reason. You're just getting a lot of stuff. And so I am very happy with this pledge. I was a little worried at the end, but I think, like I said, from the replayability as also the resaleability, I think if you're set either way, if you did it from that side of things. So that was the only other thing I backed in June. And I didn't back a bunch of stuff. I watched stuff from afar. I canceled some pledges. The only things I am actively backing at this time of filming this video is this Japanese 3-person trick taker. Because, as you've heard me say, these are my bread and butter. Now, I have to read the rules a little bit. This is one of those where I'm pledging, even though there's 25 days to go, and I'm going to get to it. I could see myself going either way with this, because of the 3-player count is just very interesting. And I do play with 3 players quite a bit. And this whole, you're saving this civilization, trying to take over this planet that's between the sun and Mercury, and trying to do the bidding. And it's just a different take on things. And I like the minimalistic style, and so I just need to figure out what pledge I'm going to do, because I did not get the premium edition, and I think the premium edition only difference is that it's in acrylics, if I'm reading this correctly, and I don't really care about that, so it doesn't matter to me. And then the delivery schedule is a lot farther than I was expecting, April 2022, but whatever, doesn't matter. So I just need to check it out in terms of actual play, of how it's going to work out. But like I said before, I put my money where my mouth is on these Japanese ones. And so this one's going to be down to the wire one too. But I do like card games. I do like trick-taking games. So we'll see. The last thing I am backing right now is Wild Assent Lavon Rising. And now I'm not sure. This one is going to go right down to the wire for me, just because... just more. I mean, do I need more? And so I'm going to be figuring this out between now and the 3 days left that I have. Hopefully, I'm going to be having enough play of the prototype as well that Alex from Board Game Co. sent to me. Speaking of prototypes, I don't know what to do with once they're done. And we're going to see where this goes. I could see myself going either way with this one, depending on how much I like the example scenarios from the demo rulebook that is on the page to begin with. And I have a little bit of firsthand. I was hoping to get a video out before this ends. Now, you'll know, obviously, because I think this video is probably going to come out afterwards. So if I did, yay me! If I didn't, maybe it's still going to come. Maybe you can just late back based on my impressions, right? But right now I am backing, and I would just be getting the new stuff. I would not be... So my pledge is going to be this one right here, the secondhand backers pledge, because I have a copy of the Silverstream and the core and the stretch goals from the first one, so that would be $169. And the question is, I mean, just do I need a lot more? And I mean, it's $169. I mean, but if you're getting 5 boxes worth of stuff, including Dangers of the Wild, the Lavon Rising expansion, the stretch goals, and the stretch goals, you know, yeah, I guess then you're talking about what other expansions do I need. They just announced recently, a day or two ago, one of the expansions here, the Waterways of the Wild, which, again, like, this is a Wave 2 thing. And so, I mean, I guess you could probably add it between Wave 1 and Wave 2. So I don't see any reason to get that one during the campaign. But it's going to be a question of, do I need more stuff? How much more of this stuff do I need? I mean, the game is good. Don't get me wrong. The game is good. I thought the campaign mode was the one thing really lacking in this game that would have been really good. So I kind of want to see how this compares to something like Madara, which I think is the gold standard for me personally. And then the other, you know, sort of campaign-esque things that are out there, you know, Arena of the Contest, Tainted Grail, that sort of thing. And I don't really know. And so I'm going to dig into it probably right after filming this tonight. And so I can make a more informed decision about whether or not I want to spend $169 or use that to get Storm Sunder or what else. So that is going to be the big test. But this will probably be over by the time this video is viewed by you guys. So you can probably ask me in the comment section what I ended up doing. But, I mean, it's probably easily going to make $1 million by the end. And I think that's pretty good compared to the first Lavon. I think that's pretty good compared to the first Wild Ascent, because the first Wild Ascent only raised $332,000. So it's definitely not for a lack of eyes on this one. But now the prices on this one have also gotten jacked up too. So again, that's not accounting for everything. Obviously, you're just getting a ton of stuff. But I think the aesthetic, especially on the boxes, looks a ton better. I love this aesthetic more. And I think the miniatures did what Arena the Contest did also in terms of just massively improving the quality. And I say that as a non-miniature guy again. So we'll see what I do with that one. So what didn't I back and why? And the first one up is Paperback Adventures. Now, I think this, again, all of these, I think, look like very, 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 very solid games, and I would be happy to review these games at retail, but I did not see I need to get this now. And this one, mainly because, as much as I like and really think that Fowers does an amazing job with this stuff, it's mainly solo, with a little additional 2-player on. And I'm also just not, as much as I like the deck building roguelike aspects of it, it's really this last one, even more so than the first one in terms of solo, the word game, that I'm just not a huge fan of word games. I'm just not. As much as I love the sci-fi, as much as I love this, I just could not do it for, I mean, let's be honest, you're getting all three. You're getting the complete trilogy if you're doing this. You're doing the $79 pledge level. And that's a $79 pledge level that I can use to get something else right now instead. So you can pre-order here. Again, I think it was just a miss for me in terms of, again, all this new stuff. Again, you're getting a good value. I don't think there's an issue there. It's just, I could not get past the solo and the word gameness. So hopefully, maybe I'll get a chance to try it at retail, but that's, Paperback Adventures, at least for me. Next up, Adventure Tactics, Adventures in Alchemy. I did not back this because, again, I think the biggest question for me was, why get this now versus later? And I was not looking at this and going, I need all of the stretch goals. I don't need the big box or the insert. The rest of the stuff, I think, was just, again, player mats and miniatures. And I didn't look at it, again, mat, as the exclusive stuff. And I don't need the miniatures. I think I am very happy with just the standees only. And I'm probably just going to pick this up all at retail. And I still have yet to get my base game of Adventure Tactics anyway. So I'm eventually just going to pick it up. It's just a matter of when. And I think it's going to be cool. But like these packs right here, I don't need miniatures for those guys. I'm very happy with standees. That's about it. Otherwise, I love it. It's Final Fantasy in a very kid-friendly, very family-friendly style of fantasy dungeon crawl-esque. And I love it for what it is. And I will pick it up and support the publisher. But it's just not going to be during the Kickstarter campaign. So that was just me, though. So otherwise, I love what they did. Next one, again, this one went right down to the wire. I canceled this one within like the last 6 hours or so. AracKhan Wars, the card game. And I think I watched a couple other inputs because I was really torn on this one. Because I think the concept is amazing. It's like Summoner Wars, only your cards don't move and you just interact depending on how they are. And I liked Board Game Co.'s, Alex's, assessment of the fact that I just don't play a lot of these 2-player games. And this is mainly a 1 versus 1 game of dueling proportions. As cool as these decks are, and I think he and I are very similar in taste, because the other problem I run into in this is I don't deck construct. Like the pre-constructed decks are fine, but I really want to be able to get the full experience, and without the deck construction aspect of things, I don't think that's the full experience. And yes, it'd be fine. And again, I think it's going to be a very good game. And again, I would be happy to review this and play this. But I just don't think, for my non-reviewing purposes, is it going to hit the table? And the answer probably at this point is no, especially when you're talking about a price point of, realistically, well, 61 euros plus the other expansion that's in this one, but I don't want the foils and the sleeves. So you were talking like probably $100 total by the time this shipped. And for $100 total, I'm going to go pre-order Summoner Wars 2, the second edition, for $40, and maybe get my previously mentioned Adventure Tactics for the same amount, and get a lot more bang on my buck, as well as a lot more table presence. And now Summoner Wars, again, you can argue 1v1, but that's, again, something different, dueling anyway. But that is why. I mean, I think this is really cool. I think you're going to see something in the lines of this in the future in terms of not being able to move, but being able to interact and activate in terms of the cards and placement and revealing and just everything. I think this is an awesome looking game. I just could not do it for the price because, again, I'm going to be a little bit of a completionist and get the expansions that all come with it, and that's going to drive the price point up. And for me right now, it's more to save the money and not get it as opposed to get it later. So there you go. Last one up that I backed and canceled was Six Siege, the board game. Speaking of things that I looked at and I said, I don't need to get this now. There was no incentive for me to get this now, because the main incentive to get this, if you were looking, and I was at the $199 pledge, the gameplay all in, the daily unlocks, the exclusive operator, the companion app, and the codes for the skins. And the value that they were talking about in the Board Game Geek forums, as well as the comment section here, was all about the value, the value, the value, the value. These skins are going to be $15 if you buy them, or something like that, $10 to $15 if you buy them separately. Well, I don't care about the video game skins. They offer me absolutely no value whatsoever. I'm never going to play the video game. I have no interest in playing the video game. There's a reason I have a board game channel, not a video game channel. And so from that side of things, these last couple things weren't terribly intriguing. And the stretch goals were adding, basically, they didn't call them that, but they were basically deluxeifications. And you can see here sort of what was actually exclusive. The skins, the daily unlocks, and the operator. So what were the actual daily unlocks? Let's see. Scroll down here. See if I can find it. It's surprising how far they have the daily unlocks down. But upgrades, upgrades, recruit mode, upgrades. So I mean, not anything that I'm upgrades there, upgrades there, upgrades there, upgrades there, alternate skin operator there, double layered tactical inventory boards. Like, just make your stuff good quality to begin with. Alternate there, overlay upgrade there, deluxeification there, alternate there, unlocked a different mode, like either have it or don't, I guess, for me, and upgrades there. Upgrades there, upgrades there, same thing. So nothing that I'm going, I need any of this stuff. Especially the exclusive stuff that they have marked up here. So for me, if I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this at retail. I'll try it at retail, or I'll buy off a used copy from someone else at this $69 level. But I just didn't need all this other stuff. You've heard me say in other videos, like, I don't like non-gameplay content pledge locked in there without the ability to get it, because what if I just want the gameplay stuff? Why not do a $50 pledge and have the the code for the skins not on there then? If they're that good of value, and I'm only saying maybe cost me or have me pay $19 less, and you're telling me they range from anywhere between $10 to $15 each, well, that should be even more of a great value, right? But I mean, here you go. They also were kind of vague. I really hated that again. They were vague in the comment section and even the Kickstarter, saying, well, we don't know what the retail one is going to look like, or if there's going to be a retail one. There's going to be a retail one with this. It's just going to be where it's sold, what channels it's through it's sold. And if you're upgrading stuff here in the first place, right? Like, obviously, your plan was this in the first place, so this would be the retail though, right? And this is the Kickstarter. I don't know. It's well beyond my knowledge base, but that just doesn't make a lot of sense to my weird brain, I guess. So anyway, that's why I passed on Six Siege. And again, going back to that head-to-head tactical, it's too complex for anyone in my family right now. And it's a 1v1 again, and I only have limited time for that sort of thing anyway. Hence this and AracKhan Wars as well. So let's see, beyond that, I'm involved with a pay it forward thread, but this was really July, so I'm trading a couple games on there. I just got this new one, Combo Clash. I'm interested to see about this from Hub Games. Looks kind of cool and crazy. Apart from that, I don't really think I got a whole lot else. A lot of the stuff I got were those prototypes for, like, I did the review of Millennium Blades. Apart from that, it was really mostly just prototypes in the mail. I'm thinking the platformer, Lavon Rising, that sort of thing, with Valor and Villainy, Ludwig's Labyrinth. I didn't really get a whole lot of other games. A lot of it otherwise was just demoing this stuff, getting stuff played. I think I taught a couple guys from my game group Spirit Island, which was awesome because I knew that they would love it, because the first time we taught Spirit Island, I totally messed it up because I was trying to learn it as we were playing it. Horrible idea with an absolutely the wrong game to try it on. Otherwise, I mean, that's about it. Like, I don't really know of many Kickstarter pledges I even know that might be coming in July. I think maybe Cascadia is coming at some point. Apart from that, I think they even got delayed. Yeah, I think that's about it. relatively short month. I didn't back a whole lot. I saved a lot of money. But again, like July and August, depending on how that hits and what I end up doing with Wild Ascent and Chronicles of Drunagar and all of that side of things, and Iridia and Lands of Galzier basically launching on the same day, that's going to be horrible, horrible, horrible. I think I might be getting some form of Lands of Galzier. I've also reached out to Cody for Iridia to see if there's any long shot of me getting a chance to do something for that, but I don't expect it. I spoke to CGS as well. Maybe going to get something from Chronicles. We'll see. And the Lazy Square Games gave me some, or sent me some resins, I believe, from Storm Sunder. So hopefully, maybe I'll just do a short video sometime in the near future, just showing off those, talking about Storm Sunder as well. So that's it. I mean, that was June in a nutshell. Blessing Curse, I still have a bunch of pledge managers I have to end up filling out. I have not finalized what I'm going to do on X-Men Marvel United, because I'm definitely doing the one-wave shipping. I have no interest in two-wave shipping and paying extra, especially nowadays, right? Pay double exorbitant fees. But that's about the only other interesting tidbit or halfway relevant thing. So, as always, let me know how your June shaped out. Let me know what you backed. Let me know what you avoided. Let me know what you feel bad about not backing. So, yeah. As always, thanks for checking out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with me. I appreciate it every single time. I'm always appreciative. I can't believe I'm still at this place and doing this. So, thank you so much. Stay classy. Have a great day. See you next time.